Hey besties! Welcome back to Dash of Pink Podcast. I'm McKinley.
And I'm Danielle, and today we thought it would be a really cool idea to go over cycle phases of women, because I personally feel like I know of it.
But I don't know like the nitty gritty. Like I know the luteal phase. I know I ovulate, but like what does that mean?
See, I know the different phases. I don't know when. I don't really know when I know ovulation. There's 4. So I know ovulation and and I know like period. But I don't really know like luteal phase.
I don't know what luteal phase is, but everyone's like, I'm in my luteal phase.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I've said I'm in my luteal phase. Do I know what that means? Absolutely.
So I literally just copied and pasted stuff directly from Google.
Ooh.
So we're gonna learn today, because I feel like as women, as two women who didn't actually know, it's important to understand your cycle.
Yes. Well, if you didn't
so
know,
much.
Men every 24 hours have a full reset.
Mm-hmm.
Women, it's a full month, whatever your cycle length is. Mm-hmm. That is crazy.
That's insane. I literally ask Ty all the time. Wild. I'm like, can you, like, this is not like a girls are better than men like type thing, but I ask all the time, like, can you imagine having a month-long cycle?
Oh my
gosh. Can't imagine having a 24-hour cycle.
I don't even know what that would look like.
I don't either.
Do you just feel like refreshed? Like, was there like up and downs throughout the whole day? Now I want to know about the men's.
I have no idea. We'll do a men's cycle.
We'll bring the husbands on, which, by the way, I think we are going to bring the husbands on sometime. We're not telling you when. Whoops. Or why.
I'm so excited. You guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So before we do anything, of course, we're going to do a little trigger warning, because this is talking about periods, female body, like all that kind of stuff. If you're uncomfortable with that, just want to let you know that's what this whole episode is about.
Ears.
Right, or little ears. That's what this whole episode is about. If you're not ready for little ears to hear about that, great. We will not be talking about it in any dirty, bad way. So if you are trying to find a way to talk to your kids about this,
it might be a good, maybe listen to it first and then you can share.
I would hope that this is a podcast that's good enough to share
with your daughters. Hopefully.
But I think it would also depend on preference, like how much you want them knowing. And
we really want this to be more educational because we obviously don't know. So we're learning with you.
Right.
We want to figure out how we can best treat our bodies and provide the best support for ourselves to be healthy and support us through motherhood, womanhood, because this is going to affect us from when you start your period till when you start menopause.
Exactly. So again, this is just a trigger warning. It's not going to be bad, but we're trying to normalize no TMI. So we just want to make sure you're aware of that before you keep going. If you have littles around, maybe pause it, listen to it later before you're ready for littles to hear.
Put some headphones in, do some laundry.
Right. So anyway, we're going to start. Again, we've realized that a lot of women don't know about the entire cycle. So most people believe that the menstrual cycle starts and stops with the period. That is not necessarily the case. Like, I thought when I was younger that the cycle was just your period.
Same. We wouldn't call it we would literally call it our cycle. And I thought that meant like, we would say, I'm on my cycle, meaning like I'm actually on my period, like I'm actively bleeding, which your cycle is the whole month.
You're constantly in it. That's the thing, is you're never not in your cycle.
It's crazy that they don't teach these things, and maybe they did, and I skipped that.
It.
But I don't think I even really learned about ovulation.
The only reason I knew is from my mom.
Yeah, the only reason I learned about ovulation is because I figured out like why you have to make babies. You ovulate to make the baby.
Anyway, really quick, we are not professionals.
No,
we are not educated
not in any way, shape, or form.
This
are we
is
professionals.
all from Google. So if the information is correct or sounds incorrect to you,
let us know.
We're not professionals. This is not by the Bible. Like, this is not it. Okay. So this is the, again, direct Google translation. What is the female menstrual cycle? Okay. The female monthly cycle is called the menstrual cycle. It's a reoccurring process that prepares a woman's body for potential pregnancy each month. If pregnancy doesn't occur, the cycle results in menstruation. So this might be triggering for some people to hear, because I don't understand why. Your whole entire purpose of your body's menstrual cycle is to get pregnant.
Yes.
Your body literally throws a fit when it finds out it's not pregnant. That's what your period is.
What our bodies were made for. The human female body was made to reproduce.
So the entire process of your menstrual cycle is to prepare your body for pregnancy and to recover from not getting pregnant.
Yes.
And that preparation.
That's what birth control is for, in order to prevent or other things a lot of people use cycle tracking for pregnancy prevention.
Yeah.
Right?
Which,
is it accurate?
I think it can be. The hard thing is there are some women who are still fertile the entire month, and there are some women who are just fertile in
during ovulation.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Right.
All right, keep going. Sorry.
So, really quick, before we go on further, do you know, and are you able, I know we kind of already went over this, are you able to recognize when you're in different phases, or does it take a second?
Kind of. I personally know now when I'm ovulating, but I didn't know that until I was getting pregnant with my second. So now I know when I'm ovulating, and I kind of can tell when I'm getting closer to my period, which I assume is the luteal phase.
Right.
I don't know, but I think the luteal is between the full. But I really just don't know unless I'm ovulating or if I'm on my period. I don't know anything in between.
Right. Actually, when I was I didn't know what ovulation felt like and recognize it until I was probably 17. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, this isn't cramp. I was getting ready for Branson Mara's wedding. I was making, was it the wedding or was it the baby shower? I don't know. I was making food. It was Mara's bridal shower.
Was it? Oh, bridal showers. I think. Was it Honey's? Because it was honeybees.
No, it was at the bridal shower because I was making sandwiches. And it was what do they call it? The open house where everyone just come and go, Yeah. That was in Ronnie's backyard, right?
I think so. Remember? Yes, it was. Yeah. It was in Ronnie's
remember
backyard.
I was I just have a lot of gas. And I was crouching on the floor, mixing chicken salad on the counter. And then I was like, this isn't gas.
And it was on one side.
It was on one side. And I was struggling. And my mom was like, are you ovulating? I was like, no, I'm not.
Huh?
And then I sat and I was like, yes, I am.
Isn't that interesting? And it's if you pay attention to where it feels, it's a very different feeling than cramps for me.
It's very different from
almost
periods.
A little bit more of a sharp stinging for
almost
me.
like a side stitch.
Yes. Kind of like a side stitch.
Like when
a
you're
side
running?
ache.
Yeah.
A side stitch?
You haven't heard that?
You call it I have never heard side stitch.
Really?
Really?
Like a side cramp.
Yeah, we call them side aches or a cramp, side stitch. I kind of like that. No. Yeah, kind of like that, but almost more intense, and it's pretty low, literally as I'm grabbing.
Right, she's it's pretty low.
It's pretty low, and you can tell which side you're ovulating on. Sometimes I do feel it in both sides though. And I'm like, what's happening here? No twins.
No way. Speaking of periods, I know a second ago we said it's different than periods. We want to let you know really quick, we are going to have a submission box for periods. We're going to do, what was it?
We're going to have you guys tell us your first period experiences or what you wish you would have known.
What you wish you would have known. Funny stories maybe.
We're going to share our first period and the first time, maybe first couple, and then memorable things that we remember throughout that whole thing, but we want to hear from you whatever you want to tell us. So whether it's a horror story, a funny story, a question.
Yeah, whatever you want to tell us or whatever you want to hear.
We'll just do a period chat.
Yeah, and of course you can find that on Instagram. This will be in the description of this video.
Highlight bubbles.
Podcast, highlight bubbles, all the things.
All the things. You guys know. You guys know where to find us. Instagram's probably the best place.
Right. Instagram is where we give the most information. Okay, the menstrual cycle is usually divided into these 4 phases.
I'm ready. Okay.
Menstrual phase.
Okay. Which is when you're on
phase.
Follicular.
Follicular.
I'm ready.
Phase.
Okay. What is it?
Which I had to go and figure out. I had to have Google tell me how to say that. Follicular.
Wait 4 seconds. You guys, I have multifollicular polycystic ovary syndrome. Meaning, this is going to teach me so much about what I actually have. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Ovulation and then the luteal phase.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the 4 phases.
Okay, I'm ready.
So the menstrual cycle usually occurs every 28 days, but can range from 21 to 35 days. I think mine is about 28 days.
Mine is not regular. I used to actually be very 28 days, and then it bumped up to 30, and now it's, you never know.
Right.
Which doesn't make sense how you would track it.
I know.
Okay, I want to know the follicular phase.
The follicular phase. Do you want to read Google's direct
Yeah, I do, actually.
answer? Okay, this is the direct answer that Google gives.
The follicular phase is the first phase of the
You can do this.
The first phase of the menstrual cycle beginning with menstruation and ending with ovulation. During this phase, the dominant follicle in the ovary matures and the uterine lining thickens in preparation for the potential implantation.
So does that tell you about your...
Kind of. Okay, so what I have going on right now is my follicles are like starting to get larger and larger and larger in my ovaries, but they're not maturing enough to a point to actually ovulate. So basically, I have a whole bunch of almost matured. So it's almost like swelling up and causing all this like inflammation and space inside my ovaries. From what I understand, this is what I don't know a whole ton because I've had to do my own research. I wasn't told. And then it's causing the pain that I'm feeling, and they pop, they turn into cysts and burst. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with, which actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Why it like, I don't feel it after my period.
Because you literally said you feel it for a longer period of time.
So I don't have pain until when my ovulation starts, which is so weird that I feel ovulation pains, and it's almost because my eggs are trying to mature and they can't. So it's swelling, and then I have pains, and they pop. And then I won't have pains. Weird, huh?
Wow.
It's interesting. This is so weird.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
What happens during the follicular phase, which we can go back and forth. Okay, menstruation. The phase begins with the shedding of the uterine lining if fertilization did not occur in the previous cycle. Again, periods are literally just your body throwing a fit that you're not pregnant.
Yes, so, which is like you're actively bleeding is menstruation. Yes. Okay, follicle development. Oh my, these words are so big.
I did not read through this much. I literally just copied and pasted.
The hypothalamus, thymus, and the pituitary gland release hormones that stimulate the growth of several follicles in the ovaries.
Dominant follicle. One follicle typically becomes dominant and continues to mature while others regress.
Estrogen production. As the dominant follicle grows, it produces increasing amounts of estrogen.
Endometrial?
Yeah.
Proliferation? The rising estrogen levels stimulate the growth and thickening of the uterine lining.
Endometrium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cervical mucus change. The cervical mucus becomes clear, copious, and elastic, facilitating sperm movement. Okay. That is going to be
so weird to me.
That's going to be like almost what helps guide the sperm. So it... That's why pre-seed works, because it's helping.
The dumbest way I learned that?
Oh, no.
I was trying to do research because we were trying to get pregnant, right? And I was like just trying to understand. this one, I can't remember what website it was, but it was like the best, right? The best way to remember when you're going to be the most fertile is imagine your discharge is like water for a fish in a fishbowl. Okay. They can't get anywhere if there's no water.
Wait, that makes sense, though.
Right?
The consistency of pre-seed.
Right?
That's just what I'm saying. Potential for pregnancy. Wait, I think I just read 2. Oh, well.
I don't
Potential
care.
for pregnancy. The late follicular phase, especially around ovulation, is the most fertile time of the cycle.
Wait, hold on. We're going to keep reading these. So, there are 4 phases, but I feel like 2 of the 4 phases are overlapping in, like...
Kind of. So, it almost seems like menstrual and ovulation are...
within phases, it feels like.
Like, kind of, the follicular and luteal kind of overlap slightly. Because I'm sure we don't always know exactly when that will be.
Right. Where did you just read?
That one.
Oh, this one?
Hormonal changes.
Hormonal changes, FSH and LH. The pituitary gland releases follicle-stimulating hormones, FSH, and
luteinizing hormone.
Luteinizing hormone, LH, what drives follicle development.
So that is the thing that I'm struggling with, I think, is the follicle.
You're not getting those hormones?
I'm not getting the right hormones or something. That would make sense.
What if you started taking hormones?
Well, that's the medication that they wanted me, Clomid and those things. That's the medication that would make me actually mature.
Like Octomom, right?
Kind of. No, I do know that Clomid, has a higher risk of twins. They told me it was a 5 in 200 chance. And then there is another one that starts with an L. They've told me a million times I'm not good with pronouncing things. But I do know that one is specifically for like PCOS and other different hormonal things that has less of a chance of twins and a little bit less side effects. Again, I don't know specifics, but I do know a lot of people, and I do know some personal people that have used the less generic rather than Clomid. They use, maybe is it Femera? There's a few different ones. But okay, estrogen levels rise as the dominant follicle matures, influencing the uterine lining growth and cervical mucus change.
And estrogen is like the female hormone. Men have estrogen.
They do have an estrogen.
But they have more testosterone than they do estrogen. And same with us. We have more estrogen than we do testosterone.
But women do need testosterone as well.
We do, yeah.
But it can mess you up a little bit if you do have too much.
And if you have too little, it can mess you up too. Inhibin?
We should never be English teachers. Inhibin B.
Produced by the follicle helps regulate FSH levels.
Wait, isn't SFH levels the... Oh, wait, that's the follicular...
Right. I feel like, I could be wrong, during the follicular phase, I feel like there's just a very... It's just like an influx of hormones.
I was going to say, I feel like you're getting rid after, you're like building up hormones in order to release the egg. It's kind of like change of mucus. Let's get the follicles stimulated kind of a thing. And
Which, how cool are our bodies?
How about the fact that it's doing this on our own? We didn't even know this.
Yeah, you don't even have to think about that. You don't even have to think about it.
That's so impressive. Okay, duration, the follicular phase in length typically lasts 10 to 22 days. It ends with the LH surge and ovulation. That's so interesting. So it does.
So that's like the longer phase of the two.
It's like the longest phase.
Yeah.
So it goes menstrual, which usually I'm on my period like 5, max 7 days when it's like rough.
Right.
And then ovulation typically is 1 day, but they say you can ovulate like within a time period, I think.
Okay.
So this is a long time.
This is so interesting.
I'm so into this. I hope you guys are into this and we're not just like vomiting information to no one.
So the follicular phase is the phase where your body prepares for possible pregnancy. This is the phase where your body will literally make you feel more attractive. This is the phase where you look in the mirror and your hair looks shiny.
Girl.
Many women report feeling more energetic, focused, and positive during this phase due to rising estrogen levels. This phase also makes you think others are more attractive.
Wait,
so
really?
if you find yourself saying, my husband looks so freaking good. His sweat smells good. His messy, like all of these things that matter, yes.
Yeah.
But like they make you drool like a dog.
Well, it's just we're naturally animals.
Some studies suggest that estrogen can also lead to an increased libido during this phase. So your sex drive, also leading to other things.
Yeah.
Estrogen can affect hair growth and skin health, potentially leading to fuller looking hair and improved skin during this time.
Are you serious?
Isn't that insane?
I just have a hard time taking this information and thinking about the 24-hour cycle of a man.
Right?
Like, what do you mean that they can do all of this in 24 hours?
Right.
This is so unfair. So there's just like 2 hours a day that their skin looks gross? Or
right. Is there like a point of the day where they're like, my wife looks good? But is that all?
It
that's
is in
all
the morning time.
Oh, yeah.
If you catch my drift.
Oh, I catch it.
menstrual phase. The first day of your monthly cycle starts on the first day of your menstrual cycle. So in other words, your period.
I thought the menstrual phase started the day you ended your period.
Really? I did know that that's the beginning.
Until I was trying to get pregnant.
Okay.
Because then you have to track the first day of your period. Because that tells you when you're going to ovulate. So like my whole life I thought it was like the menstrual phase is the end because you're shedding everything. So in my head I was like, oh, you're getting rid of everything to restart. But no, that's the beginning. Like,
it's so interesting. It's almost like starting the cleansing phase so that you can rebuild.
Right. I think it's crazy. So what happens during the menstrual phase? This is when you start your period or when you start bleeding. The period bleeding is caused by your uterus shedding its inner lining because an egg was never implanted. Uterine lining shedding. The uterine lining, which has thickened in preparation for a potential pregnancy, breaks down and is expelled from the body through the vagina. Hormonal changes, low levels of estrogen and progesterone signal the start of menstruation and bleeding. The menstrual flow consists of blood, tissue from the uterine lining, and mucus.
It makes sense why we're so tired during this phase. Okay.
This is what I find crazy.
The blood is created by blood, number 1, blood from the uterus lining, which is the endometrium. 2, cells from the endometrium. 3, vaginal fluid from the vagina. 4, mucus from the cervix. So blood, technically, like what we are bleeding and releasing isn't even just blood.
No.
It's all of that.
I was told, I can't remember when, but like by a doctor, they're like, it's actually less blood and more tissue.
Well, yeah, because you're literally getting rid of the endometrium.
Right.
Which makes sense. Like, this is so TMI. Wait, it's not, because we're here. But I use a cup now, and if you look at it, you can actually see, like clusters. Like, that makes sense why there is clumps and, like, clots and those things.
Right.
That is wild.
Which, I didn't look this up. I wish I did. My friend told me, again, I didn't look this up. This is information I heard. She said that cramping on your period is not just your body getting rid of everything. It's also you dilating so you can pass that.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense because
it would make sense.
Yeah, because you cramp when you're actually, like, going to give birth.
Right. It would make sense. Again, I didn't fact check that, but it would be crazy if that was true. So, the duration of your menstrual cycle is usually a few days, between 3 to 7 days. Mine is usually about 5. The menstrual cycle, the average cycle length from the first day of one period to the first day of the next is typically around 28 days, but can vary from 21 to 35 days.
So when I went in to talk about my PCOS, because my period isn't out of that range, I'm considered normal, even though I'm never accurately accurately, like, on schedule. Because, like, sometimes it'll come 3 to 5 days early. Sometimes it'll come 12 days late.
Right.
So it's just because I'm consistently always having one.
Within that window,
I don't technically have irregular periods.
Interesting.
But
that's interesting.
My definition would say that's irregular because you're like clockwork.
Right. Oh, yeah. As far as I can tell, I've only had, this is my only, like,
I'm so
second
sorry.
period, but it's like my first real one. But before, I was basically within 3 days of my calendar.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah.
That's normal. That's good.
Right. Other potential symptoms of period. Some people may experience cramps, breast tenderness, mood changes, bloating, or headaches during their period due to hormonal fluctuations. I get morning sickness.
That is so bizarre.
On periods that are bad enough, I will throw up.
Really?
I have thrown up regularly on my period. That is
wild to me. I deal with a lot of hormone headaches. I've always dealt with hormone headaches and cramping. But that's all. Okay, what is the ovulation phase? Google's direct answer is the ovulation phase is part of the menstrual cycle when a mature egg is released from an ovary into the fallopian tube, making it the phase when pregnancy is possible. This process is triggered by a surge in luteinizing hormone, LH, and occurs around the midpoint of a 28-day cycle around day 14. So, if you are trying to get pregnant, sometimes they suggest trying like 2 to 3 days before and 2 to 3 days after because that number can fluctuate with how many days your cycle is.
Right. So I would take ovulation test.
I need to do that.
This is TMI. So this doesn't really count. I would take ovulation tests and we would go like the week before, make sure we have sex every day. The week after, make sure we have sex every day. And then when we were really kind of desperate, it was like every day. We made sure every single day when we were trying.
You guys, my doctor told me not to have sex every day.
Really?
Yes.
When you were trying?
Yes. Just for like, this is more for like the man, but for like the for
the
build up and the sperm to build up.
Right.
So she actually recommended that we do every other when I'm ovulating.
Right. When I was ovulating later on, because we were like, maybe this is too much and we didn't want to make it a chore, we decided that like the week before I thought I was going to ovulate, we would take a break.
Oh,
and then like 3 days-ish before.
Yeah.
And the days I thought I was ovulating. And then we would do a week after because sperm can like survive for...
Sperm can survive, I think, don't quote me on this, up to 5 days.
Okay, I thought it was 7.
I don't know.
But I feel like 7 is also excessive.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's super sperm.
Maybe. I have no idea. Okay, the timing of ovulation usually happens about midway through the menstrual cycle. Obviously? Often around day 14 of a 28 cycle. However, it can vary from person to person and even cycle to cycle.
Hormone changes. The follicular phase prepares the dominant follicle for release. Rising estrogen levels trigger a surge in LH, which causes the egg to be released.
Egg release. The mature egg is released from the dominant follicle in the ovary and enters the fallopian tube.
Fertilization window. The released egg is viable for fertilization for about 12 to 48 hours. Sperm can provide...
That's so short.
24 hours is how long the egg is, but sperm can survive in the female reproductive tract for up to 5 days. So having intercourse in the days leading up to ovulation can also lead to pregnancy.
That is, okay, if you think about the actual chances of an egg getting fertilized, yes, everyone says you can get pregnant so easy, but the amount of sperm that is in, like, one go
yes,
is, like, you literally have a 1 in, like, a million chance.
And they have to make it all the way to the egg, because it's not like it's an easy journey.
Right. That's the thing, is I'm like, I don't care what you believe in. Mm-hmm. If you have a baby, it is meant to be, because you literally have like a 1 in a million chance of that egg getting fertilized.
No, quite literally 1 in a million.
Right. That's what I find insane, is it's like how actually hard it is.
That's why it always blows my mind when people are like, we didn't even complete and I still got pregnant. I'm like, the odds of that? Like, that is insane. Wild to me.
That is insane.
Like, it's so... we have a friend that they have had 2 babies now that supposedly, like, were not accidents, because I don't love using that, but they were intending on having a baby, and it was literally... Surprises before. Like,
that is so crazy.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So wild, so wild.
Insane. Okay, after ovulation, following ovulation, the ruptured follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, which then produces progesterone to prepare the uterine lining for potential implantation.
Okay, tracking ovulation. Various methods, including the calendar tracking, basal body temperature monitoring, and ovulation predictor kits, can help individuals track their ovulation cycle.
Have you ever done basal body temperature?
So that's
tracking?
What my ring does.
Oh.
So my ring takes track of my... So I have an Aura ring, and we've been using it. Riley got it for me for our anniversary. Wait, did he get it for me Mother's Day? Or my anniversary. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know how long I've had this. I think it was our anniversary.
I feel like I remember you saying anniversary.
I think it was my anniversary, because Mother's Day is May.
Yeah.
I've had it for a minute. So since my anniversary, but we actually have never done actual ovulation tests. So I ordered some on Amazon. We're going to try it this month.
We were doing the strip test.
Yes, I want to try the strip test, but I do use this, and it will. My Aura ring will actually say, hey, you ovulated on this day. I don't know if I'm actually ovulating, but my temperature is showing me that I did.
See, I thought the basal body temperature, basal. What is it?
I want to say basal.
I thought it had to be like vaginally taken.
Maybe it does. But I know you can just take... My ring takes my temperature. I'm going to look right now if it says if it's
That's crazy. I'm just going to keep reading.
Okay, you keep going.
What is the luteal phase? Google's direct answer is the luteal... What? The luteal phase is the second phase of the menstrual cycle following ovulation. It begins after the egg is released from the ovary and lasts until the start of menstruation. During this phase, the corpus luteum, a temporary gland... There's temporary glands that form from the follicle that release the egg, produces progesterone and estrogen, preparing the uterine lining for potential pregnancy. And then we continue. Ovulation, the luteal phase, begins with ovulation, then release of mature egg from the ovary, and then its corpus luteum development.
Okay.
The ruptured follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone. And why does it say ruptured follicle? That's insane. Well,
because you think about it, the follicle has to release to get the egg there.
That's insane to me.
That's wild. Okay, so it doesn't tell me if it is basal. I could look it up, but it is just my body temperature. I wonder if basal means body.
Probably.
We'll see. That is wild. Where were you? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Uterine lining preparation. Those hormones cause the uterine lining endometrium to thicken and become enriched with blood vessels, preparing it to receive the fertilized egg. So basically, it's been thickening and thickening and thickening, so it can like stick it.
It's literally like a cushion for the egg.
Mm-hmm. To absorb it in, right?
I think so.
From my understanding, it's kind of like...
Yeah, because then it creates the sac around it.
Yes. Almost like eating it. Mm-hmm. But when your period comes, you lose all of it.
Our bodies are so crazy.
This is bizarre to me.
The fact that this is like microscopic.
Who figured this out? And your
body can do this like microscopically?
That is wild. How did they test this? Who came up with this?
It's insane. Then there's hormone levels. Progesterone levels peak in the mid-luteal phase around 6 to 8 days after ovulation.
Okay, duration. The luteal phase typically lasts 12 to 14 days, but can range from 11 to 17 days.
So yeah, the follicular phase is longest.
It is longest.
Okay, end of the phase. If fertilization does not occur, the corpus luteum degenerates.
Ooh.
What? Causing a drop in progesterone and estrogen levels. This hormonal decline triggers the shedding of the uterus lining, resulting in menstruation. Okay.
This makes sense. Okay, potential symptoms. Some women experience premenstrual syndrome, PMS. This makes so much sense. Symptoms during the luteal phase, such as mood swings, breast tenderness, bloating, and fatigue.
Potential issues. A short luteal phase, less than 10 days or... I did not know this.
What?
This is crazy.
Sorry,
I heard a car. A short luteal phase, less than 10 days, or low progesterone levels can make it difficult to conceive or carry a pregnancy to term.
Wait.
So a lot of chemical pregnancies and early miscarriages are because you didn't have a long enough luteal phase.
Oh, interesting. So almost I wonder if the lining doesn't all the way capture the egg enough.
Right.
To support it.
It's crazy.
This is actually blowing my mind. This is so interesting to me.
Right. A lot of women will feel bloated during this phase and may be easily irritable.
Oh,
Fun fact. These phases of our body are entirely there in hopes of pregnancy. It's our natural instinct, so it's interesting that you can usually narrow down how you feel by where you are in your cycle. For example, during ovulation, you might like the smell of your partner more because your body wants to be pregnant. And...
Have you noticed?
Oh, yeah. I found out a while ago, this is mind-blowing, the reason why you are so easily irritated specifically with your spouse after or when you're on your period is because your body is basically saying, you didn't get me pregnant.
You are fired.
Basically
fired.
in the wild, okay? If an animal breeds with another animal and it doesn't work, they will leave that animal to go find someone else. Or you will find the females are snippy, irritated, angry at that thing.
This makes sense.
Because it didn't get them pregnant. So that's why you're so irritated with your spouse, because your body is literally saying, you didn't do your one job. I got ready for you. You didn't do your one job.
Your 24-hour cycle did not fix my whole cycle.
Right. Isn't that insane?
That is so weird. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, though, isn't it weird that, you don't have a cycle for full 9 months?
Oh, my gosh.
That is
so
weird.
No, being pregnant and then, being... not on my cycle, and then sitting back and realizing that's not just over. I'm going to go back into that.
Yeah.
It almost feels like when you're pregnant that chapter of your life is closed.
And you kind of forget, what having a period was like.
No,
I remember
that's the weirdest
that.
thing is I now am okay, I don't remember what a period is like. And so when I was, going to start my period, I was no. And I remember I had, a tiny little line of blood one day before and was like, no, it's probably just leftover, bleeding, whatever, from having my baby 2 months ago. It's it's probably just leftover. Then I start my period and I was like, what?
You're like, hold on, my body does this again?
It's actually insane.
We're so lucky that we can do it, but it is a pain in our butts.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, it's kind of a pain.
It is. Again, I find it insane that men have a 24-hour cycle. And we can literally sit back and say, on certain days, I know I'm going to like the smell of my partner more than on other days. And it's it's weird because I find myself sometimes being I can't, Ty's breath is driving me nuts. I can't smell it. And there's other days where it's
or you just want to touch them. You just want them. You just want to be by them.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I am a biter.
Oh my.
I have noticed.
I'm so scared.
In my ovulation. So the follicular phase, right?
Daniel goes full vampire.
I will want to bite him more. Just a chunk.
Where are you? Wait, I saw this TikTok. I don't know why I gave up, but this wife bit her husband's shoulder and he got a tattoo.
I kind of want Ty to get that. Ty wants a tattoo so bad, and I'm you have to think about what you're gonna get first.
Oh yeah, you can't just go get it.
You have to have some sort of meaning to it. And he's come up with all these ideas and stuff. I'm that's cute and really cheesy. Keep thinking.
Keep it going, keep it going. I just don't know if I could ever get a tattoo because I'm so scared of needles. Danielle's we should go get dash and pink tattoos. Do you think I could do that? I would run out of the chair. No. No, you guys.
It was like even like numbing and like.
My 8th grade shots, I wanted to run. I had one of my friends in the room. I was crying at my 8th grade shot. We were on our way to dance class and I hurried and had to get up. I was literally a mess. And my mom's like, McKinley, this is ridiculous.
I am not afraid of needle. I will say this. Things under my skin, I don't like. If I don't look when I'm getting... If I don't look when I'm getting poked or something, I don't really feel it. But if I can feel something under my skin, like the worst part about labor, I will say this till the day I die. The worst part about labor, my literal hell was that IV, that catheter being in my arm. I remember feel it. Right. I remember in the first little bit holding Hayden, I would only like put a lot of pressure on my left arm because I had the IV in my hand and I couldn't even move it. Like hurts. It hurts and I was so grossed out.
Oh, you could see it and it's just sitting there. Well, my IV, they always have to do them multiple times, every single time. And I hate them. But I will say I've gotten a lot better, especially because I have to take all 3 of my children with me to the doctor when I get, what am I going to do? Run?
That's true. That's very true. It. You're like, good luck. Drop them off at the front door.
Wait, can you babysit these guys for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself a drink while they get a shot.
Oh man! Oh like, my gosh!
The only time I've been afraid of shots is when we were younger and getting flu shots.
Oh, I hate. No.
There was 1 year I think where my parents didn't tell us where we were going, and they're like, "We're gonna go to the park." And we went and got shots. But then they're like, we didn't lie, we're taking you to the park. And so almost like every time I got in the car with them and they're like, where are we going? And they had a lot of times where they didn't tell us where we were going because like someone would complain. I have 6 siblings, so there was always someone who's complaining about something. So it's like, even if we were going to like Bridevale Falls or something, it was... We're just going somewhere to get in the car. And I was so scared. I would watch out the window the whole time for like... markers saying that we were going to get shots. I was she knows the route. I just needed to know. Like I just needed to know, but my parents one time didn't tell us.
I just don't love it.
It scarred me.
I just don't love shots. They're not my favorite thing.
I mean, I don't love shots.
No, not a fan.
I don't love them.
I don't know. Back to the cycle phases. Do you feel like, okay, so I know a lot of people change their workout routines to different things during your cycle phases.
I did know that people do that.
Just because, like, when you're feeling happy and excited, more people will do, like, the HIIT type workouts, a little bit more intense. And as they're entering, like, their luteal phase and on their period, they kind of slow it down. Right. Do a little bit more, like, meditation, like, low impact. And then on their periods, kind of walking.
Right.
I think I want to try that.
This is one thing I wish, I was thinking about this earlier on, I wish I had figured out exactly what. Women are supposed to get different hours of sleep throughout your different phases.
Why? Like, when are you supposed to get the most?
I think it's the lube.
Leading up to your period would make so much sense.
Yeah. I can't remember. Again, I wish I did more research about it. But yeah, men are supposed to get like a set... Ty and I talk about this all the time. All the time. Because his dad is very, like, about sleep. Very about sleep. And I'm like, hey, that totally works for you. The studies that you're reading are for men. That's not for me.
No.
It's not.
That makes so much sense why... I am not a routine person with my sleep. Sometimes I'm not tired, and then other times I'm like, I need to sleep in, I want to rest, I need to chill, and I'm not a sleeper inner.
Even if I get a consistent, every night I go to bed at one time and wake up in the morning, there are days that'll work, and there are days where I'd be miserable tired.
Yeah. You just drag more. I'm dragging more.
And women are supposed to get more sleep than men, like, altogether.
Oh, wait, really? In general? I did not know that.
Again,
Riley, what the heck?
As far as I remember.
That's so interesting. Do you think, I don't know, this might be a question for another time, but what else? I don't know. I was going to ask more about sleep, and then I lost the question, so I said
She's like, maybe this is a question for another time. Not that she forgot. She just...
Oh, man.
Anyway, so the fact that we know about cycles now, the hard thing is... Like you, there's a lot of women who have cycles that are messed up and that are not consistent, and I can't imagine how infuriating that is.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Especially because up until I had Rayla, I was clockwork, I was normal, like never was super random. After Rayla, I was not as off as I am now since Piper, but I was more, which Rayla is my second pregnancy.
Right.
It was just a little bit longer phases. Like I noticed I went from 28 to 31. After Piper, there's absolutely no way that I can have any idea when my period's coming.
Psychodot just took the organization with her.
Yeah. If you know her, you know that she took all of the organization with her. Yeah. She did a number. We love her.
We love her. She's crazy.
But she's good crazy. There's a reason she's called Psychodot. Actually, someone was like, that's really rude that you call her Psychodot. And I'm like, it's not mean. It's just who she is. And they're like, do you know the meaning of psycho? And I'm like, it's lighthearted. Like, we're just having fun.
Right.
Like, it's not that deep.
Right. It's not that deep. That's like when you call your babies crazy. Oh, you crazy.
You crazy girl.
If you mean it with bad intentions, it's bad. But like...
Well, it's like calling your baby a chunky monkey. You know they're not a chunky monkey, but they're a little chunky monkey.
Right. That's the thing is I feel like there are a lot of people who are very sensitive to things.
Yeah. Why are we being so sensitive?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people are going to have thoughts that we talked about cycle phases.
To be fair, oh yeah. There are going to be a lot of people who don't like that we talk about things on this podcast.
It's fine.
To be fair,
you don't have to watch.
There are so many people in the world who have very bad intentions with things. So there are people who talk about cycle phases in a bad way.
That's true.
Again, that's why we have the trigger warning at the beginning, so you guys don't have to listen if you don't want to. There are people who talk about the cycle phases in a like dirty, nasty way that kids shouldn't listen to. That teenagers, again, we want this podcast to be something that like as a mom, you can say, I don't know how to help my girls. Yeah. I'm going to show them this video. Like we want to be a safe space for mothers, girls, teenagers, like everybody. And not someone that you have to worry about what are they going to say? How are they going to say it? You know?
We won't be too crazy.
Again,
we'll be honest.
We're trying to invite like no TMI while also being responsible adults about it.
Yes,
you know?
Because there's a mature way to talk about these things without like immature. I feel like oftentimes girls are taught not enough about their cycles, thinking that they're protecting them, when in all reality, later down the line, they don't know, oh, hey, your body should be ovulating. Yeah. Oh, hey, you're going to be more tired. This is what this means, type of thing. That's kind of what we are trying to encourage here. Not necessarily sex positive, period positive, all of those things. We just want the conversations to be honest, open, and constantly evolving and learning rather than, by the way, you're going to bleed once a month.
Right. We want to normalize talking about things in a healthy way instead of saying, don't talk about that, don't talk about that. And, like, I personally feel like it's such a weird thing to talk about cycle phases because people don't fully understand it. And then you're also talking about periods, and periods are gross. No, they're not.
No,
they're hygienically kind of gross because you have to deal with it. But I feel like as a whole, it's not gross. It's actually beautiful that your body can do that.
I have a question. What are your thoughts on how mothers, and maybe this isn't, we could do a whole thing on this. How do you think women, mothers, men should teach their sons about this? This is a hot topic, honestly. It is. I think they need to be more in the know than typically they are.
I saw a video a while ago of this dad, and he's like, every time my wife is on her period, I only buy her enough product for that period and the very beginning of her next. Because every time she needs pads, tampons, I take my son with me, and I have him go in and ask his mom, what do you need?
That's impressive.
Do you need a snack? What do you need? And then they go and he creates the list for his mom. The dad helps, but he creates a list for his mom, and then he goes and picks up those things so that one day when he has a girlfriend, a wife, a sister...
It's not weird.
It's not weird. That's the thing that always triggers me is when there are men who's like, I'm not going to go and buy tampons for you. I have to hide. Ew, that's gross. No, it's not. I personally feel, as a man, you should be strutting through the store with a box of tampons for your woman. Like, that's a badge of honor, in my opinion.
Why is it so negative for a man to buy something that is quite literally the same equal to toilet paper?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It's just not, it's such a taboo thing. So my husband, Riley, is the oldest, and he only has brothers. So he never really had sisters. So my period and my emotions surrounding that was something that I really had to teach him. Like, I had to tell him, hey, this is, and he picked it up because like, he's smart. Like, he knew about a period and things, but like, he didn't know these types of things. Like, hey, I'm probably going to be a little bit more. Right. So now he knows, literally. I was a little beastie this week. He was like, I think your period's going to come in like 3 or 4 days.
He's like, hey, so you don't need one of those tracking apps. I got you.
It's on the horizon.
I got you. But yeah, I do firmly believe that with boys, with kids, to talk about it.
Like, age appropriately.
Yeah, 100% age appropriately. To even say, like, hey, I'm having a little bit of a rough day. I am on my period, or I am whatever. I just need a little bit of help, or I'm overwhelmed, or something like that. Ooh. You know, I specifically talk about it more with girls, but don't keep boys out of it, because they are going to have women in their lives later on.
I have a thought.
What?
Nixon actually asked me. So I was on my period. It was a really, really rough one last time. I had been 12 days late. It was a whole thing, and it just like came in like a wrecking ball.
Right.
And I was down with cramps for 2 days. And when my cramps knocked me out, like it's like a full body thing. So I had like my migraine cap on, and Nixon's like, Mom, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm on this thing. It's called my period. And he's like, do I get a period? And I was like, no, it's only girls. Very age appropriately. Mind you, he is 6 years old. The other day, I said, Nix, I kind of have a headache. Will you go get my thing? And he's like, are you on your girl thing? I was like, no, Nix, I just have a headache.
I love that.
I think there's an age-appropriate way. Does he need to know? By the way, this is because I did not get pregnant. This is
no way.
But I do think it's okay for him to know, hey, maybe Mom's going to be a little tired right now. Just the same as I would teach my girls.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that there's an appropriate way to do that.
100%.
If you don't want to have the conversations with your girls or send them this podcast, maybe just take notes and take this to them and be like, hey, maybe you're going to be a little tired leading up to your period because it is your luteal phase. I think it's important for them to know that.
Because I also think as a parent, I understand also not being ready to have those conversations with your
100%.
kids. I understand that. So I would say take the time and do it when the time's right. Like, for example, my mom, again, I've talked about this on the vlog. I have permission from my mom and Lizzie to talk about this on the vlog. I'm not going to say all the details because I don't have permission to share all the details. But Lizzie got the talk with my mom a little bit ago, and then my mom was like, I don't think I really got through to her, because, again, that's a lot of information the first time.
Yes.
And she was like, do you think you could find a time to talk with her? And I was like, yeah, totally. Because Lizzie's the type where it's a lot easier to hear things from a sibling than it is mom.
Rather than
She's
mom.
just that's just how it is.
I think it's a personality thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like the whole talk. So she learned about period. She learned about sex, like all of those things age appropriately and in a responsible, healthy way. And one day, our cat Mim, she was having kittens.
Okay.
And I was like, maybe this is a good chance to talk about it. Because we all love being Mim requires people around her when she has her babies.
She needs support too.
She gets stressed out if we're not there with her.
Oh, that's cute.
It's crazy because cats aren't usually like that.
Mim is a cat, by the way.
Mim is a cat. Yes. Did I not say that already?
I don't think you did at the beginning.
Anyway, Mim, our cat, was having babies, and I was sitting there. I was like, "Hey, Lizzie, how did the talk go with Mom?" And she kind of told me what she knew, and I was like, "Okay. Are you okay if we talk about it this way with kind of what's going on with Mim? You know how this works. You know how she got pregnant. You know how the babies are here. You know how, like, all of these things."
Yeah.
And it was actually a really cool experience because we were in that moment of Mim having babies.
Kind of watching it.
That's
cool.
And so what I thought was really stinking cool is I told her, I was like, "Okay, what we do with this podcast all the time," I was like, "Okay, ask me questions. There's no weirdness. I will answer questions." And she started asking, it was adorable. She started asking questions that, like, you could tell she's been thinking about that, like, didn't really matter. But it's
she
like,
wanted to know.
She wanted to know. And it was little questions of, like, I don't even know how to explain it without saying the questions because I don't really want to ask the questions that she asked.
Kind of like questions that are more not fully around sex or giving babies, but kind of like the filler questions that you don't think of as an adult, but kids are like, wait, what about this?
Right.
Kind
like, how does it work with
side
this? How does it work with... Exactly. And that I really was like, okay, she's listening. She's paying attention. So I guess with that whole rampage, like, if you don't know the time, just let it happen. And there might be times where you're sitting on the couch because you're cramping and somebody asks. And it's like, let's responsibly go about this. What do they need to hear? I'm just having a girl thing. This is kind of what it's like. You don't have to go through this. And maybe even say, this is how you could help. Or, again, like that dad saying, go ask your mom if she needs a snack.
Yes.
Then that little boy is going to know
that.
when he has a spouse, a girlfriend, an older sister, his mom later, that when she's on her period, I need to go and see what I can do to help because I don't get to experience that. So I'm going to do what I can to make this experience better.
I love that. I love that. I think it's awesome to make sure that everyone who isn't actively on their period also kind of knows, because hormonally, I'm a little off. I had PMS mood swings. Like, those really do affect me. So I do think as my kids get older, I will just be like, hey, by the way, if mom's a little bit more touchy this week, that's why, like, I'm going to try my hardest to be calm. Just to kind of give a heads up. A family is an all-functioning thing. It's good to be in communication about those things. You don't have to give full-on details, but just a little, just enough.
And with all the cycle things we talked about, again, not having cycles that are normal, having off cycles, people who are trying to figure out how theirs work, all those things. Again, we want to create a community. So if you want to share your experience, go in the comments. If you want to
ask a question,
honestly. And if you're scrolling through the comments and you see a question from someone, or you see someone sharing their experience, answer. Like, we want to encourage just love and community here. So respond to each other. I love seeing when people respond to each other and they're having little conversations. I love it, because we're supposed to be creating a little like sleepover community. Like,
we needed to do that Instagram chat thing that we can have, that we can like send things in, you know? It could be sleepover chats.
Yes, that's cute.
Okay, we'll think about a name still. But I really do think if you guys can help each other out, if others are having questions, if not, we can answer them on the podcast. Are we doing a follow-up for this? I think we should. We're going to do like a period. Oh, we're doing the period.
Yeah, okay. Period.
Since we all talked about this, if you guys have more specific questions about cycle phases and stuff, why don't you guys ask them either in the comments? We're going to have a submission form in the description of this episode, as well as on our Instagram highlight levels. It'll be different from the postpartum one.
Yeah. Anyway, just make sure that, like, personally, make sure that you're getting what you need from this podcast, because we both feel like we are doing this for a reason.
Yes.
So if you feel like you need more than just to listen, if you feel like you need to comment and hope for a response, like, put it out there.
Yes.
Invite people. Say at the bottom, if anyone's willing to respond to this, please do. Invite people. And if you feel like you want a response, go and respond to other people. Like,
let's build each other up.
Because there's not enough of that happening in the world we live in.
Yeah. We don't have all the answers. You guys might not have all the answers, but someone does.
Right.
Let's help each other out.
Right. Anyway, we love you guys so much. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Always remember that you are worth it. Love you. Bye.